So the rewards are finally here for this month. Sorry it took so long to get things organized. The New Year's and Christmas, I thought that I was going to have a lot more time, and I ended up not having all that much time. Uh, in part because my wife got a virus, um, and she went down. She went down hard. It was really strange. I was called up for jury duty, and I was at jury duty, and then I kind of got dismissed early, and suddenly, when I got home, my wife just went boom because she just she couldn't keep anything down. Her throat was killing her. It was bad. It was a rough couple of days. I ended up having to miss work for the rest of the week. And then Christmas came, and she was still in bed. And then New Year's came, and she had been. It was a mess. So I just wasn't able to do a whole lot of anything um, online. I was able to draw and do a lot of things while I was surrounded with my kids, but I wasn't able to like do videos and stuff that would be a little bit more like this. So that's kind of what happened. One of the things that I'm gonna talk about the rewards this month, and I'm going to show you that this is this month's postcard, and I will talk about who wins it at the end of the video, or sometime near the end. All right, so let me show you some of the rewards. I'm not going to show you them all because it's a lot. So I drew a lot this month. So figure drawing, of course, figure drawing as always. I discovered that I had some figure drawings from a previous month that I never actually included. Some of these are from that month, and then some of these are from this month. Some of these drawings are 2-minute drawings, and the ones that are more fleshed out are the 5-minute drawings. So as you can see, these are 2 minutes, these are 5 minutes. Maybe there might be a 10 in there somewhere, but mostly it's 2 and 5. Okay, and this is a drapery one. Here's another 2-minute. Okay, so I also did these gamification things. I'm going to keep trying to build on that. The purpose for the gamification pages is kind of to add on to the habit pages that I did a few months back. Gamification is another form of creating habits. It's a way of getting your body in tune to wanting to do a thing repetitively, and games are really good at having you do really mundane, boring tasks and making them fun. So to be able to tap into that thing that makes you want to keep playing something when it is in fact actually just a bunch of work, which is really odd. Is if you could tap into that, then you could make any kind of work fun. So I'm trying to wrap my head around how to write down the information so that it makes sense. And so this is the first page of that. Superman. So remember this drawing that from way back, like early this year. I had it roughed out, and I was afraid to ink it. I just didn't have the skill sets. Remember, I was practicing how to do the nice ink rendering. Well, I decided after having done, and this is a great thing. You know, I draw these postcards, and then I started doing those trial run versions of them, and then I'll show you some of the trial run versions. But I do the trial run versions now because I want to test out the inking before I actually do the final postcard. And then the more I did them like that, I realized I could do the same thing with this Superman. So I decided to spend a long time as if this was the final, and just go over it and do it digitally. I did a digital version of what I'm going to ink physically. And the reason I did that was because that way I could mess up all I want. I could make decisions and then see if they work. And if they didn't, I didn't have to start over from scratch. Uh, when you're inking, you just can't erase. And if you really mess up, I mean, I could take risks without any repercussions. So I decided to do it digitally just to test out all the line work. And this is what I ended up with. This is my mock-up. This is what I'm going to attempt physically. So I've already printed out a blue line version of this so that I can ink it. So we'll see when I'm going to be able to get to it. But I'm excited to attempt to ink the thing. And what I usually do when I do a physical version is I try to make the physical version even better and learn from what I did digitally. So that's what I'm going to be doing. This Superman is going to at least be an analog version at some point, and then I'll sell prints or make prints or whatever. But you guys have a high res version of this. You guys can make prints, I guess. Oh, House of Diviners. So I ended up doing this cover for my wife's novel. It's coming out in March, but the deadline for the beta readers was this week, I think, or last week, or sometime in January. And she didn't really tell me until the last week of the year. So I ended up spending Thursday and Friday, I think, just desperately trying to finish this painting. The thing about this painting, you silver patrons are going to see my entire process. The entire thing is online, is on the is in the PSD files. You'll see all the layers, all the process. You'll see the black and white and all this other stuff. So I should probably show you a little bit of that. Okay, so I really quickly paused it and did all that stuff. It took a while for me to pull this up. I will show you that it's got the reference photos that I used. Let me see. So I used her as reference, and I used her as reference here. The hands, of course, that's what the reference is. Like, it was this hand. And the arms, and then it was her looking back. You could see it wasn't the same hand here, but so I used her as reference. You could see that. You could see my roughs in here. So here's the rough. And there's a ton of layers down here. But really what it is boy, let's see, where is it? Here it is. So this is really where it kind of started, was with this. And let me move this element out. So I basically started with a black and white, and then I basically started with a black and white drawing, and then I kind of added more elements, like I added a gray on it, and then I started building up the lights, and generally just started building, and then I added, once I had a gray a gray element more that I liked, I added more gray, and just kind of, you know, rendered her out as much as I could. Then I added color, and etc., etc. So little by little I started building the character, and that's basically the process. I'm telling you, I didn't know what I was doing. Like it seems like I knew what I was doing, but I was falling forward the whole time. It was I'd never done anything like this before. Every single time that I've tried doing a painting, I've fallen on my face. It was nerve-wracking. I spent, like I said, 2 days working on it. The fact that it even came out decent, you know, I'm But it's not. I'm not really as happy with it as I would have liked to be. I think I could do better. But it's okay for a first attempt. I'll get better. I'll improve. Let's continue with more storyboarding tips. You're gonna see a video of a post soon and a video of this soon, but you're getting that now. There's about shots and things like that. And then here's a higher res version of that file that I just showed you. Okay, so here's the my first pass of the postcard. This is the digital version that I then worked on, and of course the silver patrons are going to get to see the process and all the layers and what I did, and then you can see the pencil drawing and all that stuff. Okay, so here we got Doctor Strange, a digital version of a final version that I did for Anastasia, who went through surgery, and I just wanted to send her a nice a surprise because was stuck in bed and it was just bad, and she's one of the patrons. So hi, Anastasia. So I made her a physical copy of this. But you guys get to see the digital copy. So, and that's the rewards for this month. These are not even all the figure drawings. I think I have more. Definitely not all the artwork. There's a lot more artwork, mostly from the drawing website. There's all the how to draw ears and things like that. And like I said, there's like a lot of PSD files. There's a few other things. You get to see the PSD file of the Superman pinup. So that's what you can expect from this this batch of rewards. And last but not least, let me show you. Let me talk about who won the postcard of Death of the Endless. If you haven't read Sandman, she's a character from Sandman. She's a really, really sweet goth girl, but she is in fact death. So when you die, she comes and takes you to your reward. Wherever it is that you go, she escorts you there. She's one of the sweetest, coolest characters in the Sandman stories. If you haven't read Sandman, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. They're written by Neil Gaiman, and he's just amazing, and the stories are really mythic and deep and fantastical. So I highly recommend you read Sandman, and she's definitely one of the characters. If you read Sandman, you're probably going to fall in love with her. So she's just awesome. She's Morpheus, Sandman's sister. Okay. So the winner of this month's postcard, this particular postcard, is Lynn. So hi, Lynn. Thank you for being my patron. All I need from you is an address to send this to, and it is yours. So yay for you, Lynn. You get death. And that's it from me today. And thank you so much for being my patron. I'm sorry that the rewards came out a little bit later than usual, but at least now you're getting them. Hooray. And I will see you next month, if not sooner. All right, so I'll talk to you later. Bye.